Hi, I'm Benji, and welcome to the cast. This is the upper bracket finals of City Hunter's StarCraft 2 Flood Relief Tournament. It was a very, very well-run tournament, and it raised some good money for charity, which is always key. This is obviously the upper bracket finals. Game 1 between TAScarecrow here as the red Protoss, up against aLtPiG as the blue Zerg. The map is Zelnaga Caverns, probably one of the most balanced maps in the map pool. Also, one of the maps that everyone plays, so all the sort of tricks and stuff that you can do on this map have been pretty much found out. So nothing really that new can be really done, which is a shame. I love seeing how players go on new maps and seeing if they can adapt to how the map works. And that's kind of a sign of a good player. But relevant, both these players are obviously good, making it to the upper bracket finals like they have. Obviously the winner of this will go through to the grand finals of the tournament and can at worst place second, and obviously has a chance to place it first. The loser of this will go through to the lower bracket finals, which at worst can do third, and obviously you can win that and go through to the finals anyway. So the winner of this basically just wants to bypass a game, so it's a good best of 3 to win. Obviously it is best of 3, sorry, I did not mention that. So this is game 1, obviously. Both players come into this without any sort of prior knowledge of the other player, I imagine. I mean, Pig is a fairly new player. He played on the US servers quite a bit, has recently moved to C, was picked up by the majority Singaporean clan Alt. Which is a shame because he's Australian. No, I kid. That's a very, very solid clan. It's good they've picked him up, and he's meshed in quite well with them. Scarecrow obviously is the head, I guess, of TA. It's a very massive clan, TA. In fact, have a lot of very strong players. Probably the best clan in Australia, and possibly one of the best in C. And he himself is a very strong player, but people don't really recognise him so much because he is overshadowed by a lot of their really top-level players. The sponsored players, for starters, the MSI boys, but still, he's a very strong Protoss player, and we'll get to see some of that this game, hopefully. Pile and block coming out here from Scarecrow. I was actually curious about that because he only has one in his main, and he is about to get supply blocked. But he's going to use this to supply block himself. Now, the problem with this is, well, not the problem, the thing you've got to be worried about or careful about as Protoss is Zerg have a pull up. They're going to obviously kill that pylon to expand. That's a given. You're not going to keep that alive. Don't even bother. That's just to delay the hatchery. This drone could have put it down now if he otherwise wanted to. But you got to make sure you don't get supply blocked when this dies. So make sure you're building another one in your main. Otherwise, you will get supply blocked, and that can put you slightly behind your opponent for something that is completely avoidable. Something's called going down from Scarecrow, looking to do a nice wall off, has a nice little gap there for his Zealot, which does get in that gap, and it's just like, yep, I'm holding this. I got this, guys. This pylon here is going to get killed off, and Pig is going to obviously expand there. It's a very standard opening from Zerg. And actually, he's going to get supply block for a second here, actually. So Scarecrow here, just supply blocking himself. I don't think it'll matter too much. I mean, he won't be able to build out a sentry from this gateway until this finishes, and that probe isn't actually blocked. So it's basically just delaying the sentry or the stalker, or even the sentry, sorry. Could have been any of the 3 units, but that's okay. What's happening up here? Pig just going for some standard stuff right now. Not really going for any sort of roach play yet. Just going to get his expansion up. Going to drone up a bit. He's getting a lot of drones. If he wants to start Zergling speed fairly soon, that gives you a lot of map control, a lot of scouting. This probe is going to come out and try and scout. Now, without Zergling speed, that thing is going to get to the opponent's base and see exactly what's going on. But right now, it's not a big deal. There's not really much going on from Pig. It's just going to make Scarecrow feel fairly safe. He's going to see that the expansion is going down and that there is a lot of drones here. He's not doing some crazy Ling all-in, which obviously can happen. Second Queen popping out right now as well, which is smart, obviously. When you expand quickly, getting that second Queen in your main, putting a creep tumor down and moving down is just so efficient, so good. As this probe just walks straight through the Queen. Oh, look at that. Queen's just like, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. The other Queen does care, though. Well, actually, cares about injecting a bit more, but that probe gets a nice scout there. Here comes the Overlord Sacrifice down the bottom here from Pig. Looking to see what is going on. Let's see what he can see. Well, he's already seen the front, obviously. Sees the Stalker come out and just sees basically a 3-gate. You can see the sentry. That kind of tells you that he's maybe wanting to expand. Yep, nothing else really going on. Does see everything he needs to see, and basically right now he's just like, yep, you're going for a 3-gate expand. I'm going to drone up a bit, and drone he does. He does add on 4 more drones as he spots that. Also key having this Ling here. A lot of people don't realise how key it is to have Lings around, so you can see when your opponent is moving out to expand, sees that there, and he's just like, okay, you're expanding. Fair enough. Does slow it down slightly with those 2 Lings. Costs him a Ling though, and that Nexus is put down. Scarecrow taking his second base. Playing a very economic macro game here, which is obviously very strong against Zerg. But what you need to think about is doing a bit of pressure. a lot of Zergs will drone very hard, and they can get up to 50 drones very quickly. And if they get to them in their drones on 3 base, in fact, cancel forced here by Pig. That's a bit of a shame. And actually, that's going to put Scarecrow slightly behind. I guess it's better than losing the Nexus, but that's okay. And yeah, actually, that's not many lings. I'm surprised he forced to cancel that many lings. Anyway, Hallucination coming up as well from Scarecrow. Very, very good upgrade for scouting at least, and a Forge as well. Looking to get +1. Lings coming in again, looking to cancel again, but yeah, I think I might have been a misclick the first time, because that many lings does not really do that much damage. Still, a lot of sentries out, so you can simply just force field around this Nexus to protect it if it is getting close to dying. And could also force field aggressively, trying to trap those lings in like a small box or something. But doesn't matter, he's not going to. He's going to scout around, keep the map control, and turn this into a bit of more of a macro game. We have a Lair coming up and a Roach Warren down for Pig, looking to go for some Roach play possibly, looking to get his Lair tech up, which obviously you need against 2 base. More ling aggression here, just getting chased off. Obviously you do need Lair tech against 2 base Protoss, because if you just sit on slow Roaches and stuff, you just get destroyed. Phoenix coming out here, going to scat around the map, see what it can see. Probably not going to see that much. Going to spot obviously the Lair and the Evolution Chamber, sorry, there we go. And the Hydralisk den as well, there we go. I was waiting for that. I'm pretty sure Pig loves his Hydralisks. Pretty much always opens Roach Hydra and loves to get really quick Hydras. Hallucination thinks he's going to see, look at this, beautiful, just perfect scout, sees everything that's going on and sees such a standard opening from Pig. No Muta shenanigans, which will force basically a timing attack or some defense. Robo going down as a reaction from Scarecrow, which is smart. Probably wants to get quick Colossus. Colossus are a strong unit against both Roaches and Hydras, more so against Hydras. Ling's coming in, doing some damage, gets 2 probes and forces them away. Good exchange there from the Zerg. Protoss needs to be more careful, more on the ball, so he can move his army over there faster. But some good damage there. Hallucination is going to... Hallucination thinks he's going to scout once again. I'm not so sure about this one. I mean, I don't know what he can quite get up in this time. I mean, it's good to keep tabs on your opponent, but at least scout his army out. Regardless, he's done it anyway. The reason I say don't do it is because it does use energy from your sentries. As you can see, this one here is quite low. Then again, if you are hitting max energy, then I guess why not do it? Cannon going down here to be extra safe against those Ling sort of snipes there. And +1 is almost completed. Are we going to see a timing from Scarecrow soon? I don't know. He might want to do some sort of timing attack. Otherwise, Zerg is just going to get so far ahead. Zerg looking to take his gold right now. Obviously taking out the rocks, which block that expansion from being put down. But yeah, anyway, Overseer also being built as well, possibly for scouting, possibly to catch any sort of observer which is out. There is an observer here. Will it get killed off? It's possible. Very Hydra Ling heavy as well. Only 1 Roach in this mix. Now, the problem with that is that Colossus kills everything there very easily. Anyway, this observer's going to come through. Oh my god, the observer gets caught. Oh, that's absolutely terrible. That observer basically... well, it's a cheap unit, don't get me wrong, but that is just not any side at all. Just a very... a small mistake from Scarecrow running into that Overseer. Should have been paying slightly more attention to it. But still, not going to put him that any far behind at all. He's just going to lose a lot of map control and scouting. In fact, Overlord drop's done now, so Pig looks like he wants to drop the main. He loves to do this in basically every single ZVP I've watched him do. He'll either do some sort of crazy opening, like Ling heavy opening, or he'll drop in your main. So if you ever play against Pig, just be careful of this. He loves to do it. And what he'll do is he'll use the Overseer here to make sure that this isn't scattered. Okay, if this is scattered, you can have your army and your main ready to snipe the Overlords as they drop in. But he has the Overseer to spot for observers, and obviously everything else just gets killed by Hydras. Regardless, let's see what kind of damage he can do. It's obviously going to need a few more units. Getting a lot of Lings actually, and a few Hydras. Oh, a lot of that's probe to scouts that as well. I don't know what Scarecrow would think about that. He's getting Thermal Lance. He does have a Colossus almost out as well. Moving guys up to his ramp, possibly worried about that Hydra drop. There's the pick up there. He's going to pick up a few more Hydras as well. And we're going to see a drop in the main here. This could do a lot of damage. Now, if he can do considerable damage with this, he'll be ahead. But if he gets caught out, he's going to be quite far behind. Key is obviously to catch your opponent in this choke point here. If you let him get up into the main, they can fight you army to army. Hallucination Phoenix is going to scout this. Oh god, he just sees that. Is he going to react correctly, move to his main? Oh god, he's not going to. Oh man, he is not reacting to this at all. Here comes the Hydra drop and the Lings in the main. And all of a sudden, Scarecrow reacts. He has 1 Colossus. You're going to need magic force fields here to do a lot of damage. to the Hydras. He does block all those Hydras, actually. That Colossus can do a lot of damage here. He actually looks to be in a good position, I dare say. A lot of these probes might get killed off. He's trying to trap some Hydras with the probes, actually getting a few probe kills, which is nice, getting him some sort of advantage. But dare say this has been shut down quite well. He needs to pick up that Colossus. It does so much damage to Hydras. He is just annihilating these Hydras. Second Colossus is out, and that drop is completely shut down. If we check supplies real quickly, it is 85 to 120. Scarecrow is significantly ahead as far as army goes. Income-wise, though, he is behind by about 20 probes. That is a major loss. Now, what's going to have to happen now is Scarecrow's going to need to do some sort of timing push right now. He's going to need to do some damage very quickly, otherwise this superior income from Pig will kick in and he'll be able to get his army back in time. But obviously Scarecrow is going to move out now. He knows what's going on. Possibly just going to take the tower out, make his opponent scared a little bit. There are overlords here. These are empty. Is he going to actually move them into the main? Could be quite possible. To scare your opponent, obviously after one drop, you've got to be wary that any sort of pack of overlord. In fact, he's just going to move them into the main. This is a smart. I like this move because your opponent's going to be like, oh, you're doing it again, and it's going to force him back slightly. He sees it and he pulls his army back into position, realizes, oh, okay, you just have this is overlords. Okay, all right, I shouldn't be so scared. That's going to delay his push slightly, and that could buy Pig enough time to get an army up to defeat this. His army right now is fairly small. He's very roach heavy, which is correct, and also very corruptor heavy, which I find very surprising. Here comes the attack. Immediately loses 2 Hydralisks, and that is actually quite bad because he's only got Roach Corruptor now. And I'm sorry, but Roaches are not that great a unit. Roaches are trying to pick in here. The Corruptors are going to have to hit from the side. Here comes the engagement. Corruptor's going to kill these Colossus very quickly. He does get corrupted one of them, and he's going to kill it very quickly. One Colossus is down, and he disengages. Takes a lot of damage on those Roaches, though. That's a problem. Those Corruptors will kill those Colossus, but you need a big enough ground army to be able to hold that. The pure stalkers, sorry. He's going to try and push again, I believe. Possibly waiting for another Colossus to pop out. It is about halfway done. Adding a few sentries as well, so he can force field. Actually moving over here. Oh, going to take the rocks. That's smart. That's good preemptive, actually. Wants to take a third base right now. The base down here is very disconnected and very easy to counterattack. But if you take this one, not only do you get the superior income of having those gold bases, but you also have a nice defensible position. You can pull back to your gold. It's very hard for them to counterattack anywhere. He comes a push up here. The army is slightly bigger now, obviously, but it's very roach heavy. I don't know how this is going to go. Here comes the engagement. Colossus doing nice damage. Corrupt is trying to get in there. Force field's basically just locking his opponent in there, forcing them to stay in there, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough. Colossus do fall. Corruptors are now completely useless. There is no anti-air for them. Roaches are dying to pure stalker, and the problem right now is that there is just simply too much of a ground army for Pig to deal with. This is doing a lot of damage now. If he can kill his Roaches and kill his gold off, he might be back in the game. Obviously, he did lose quite a bit earlier. He needs to kill off his income. He's going to sit here. He's going to push into the natural. He's going to stay here and kill his his third. Sorry, he's going to push forward. There are a lot of Roaches. There is more units building. Has he got enough? He's going to snipe this Queen, which is a big deal. That is a lot of production. A lot of units here getting out of position. These 5 Stalkers are really far forward. There we go. Pulls them back. They're going to engage right here. This might be a bit of an overextension here, actually. It's got a lot of drones here that can surround. Corruptors coming in, possibly to corrupt. Roaches here doing a lot of damage. The drones in here are taking a lot of the damage for the Roaches, and the Roaches, they will clean this up. There is Stalkers here cleaning up this gold base, so at least he's going to get that out of this attack. But forcing him back, taking a lot of damage there, Pig. But in this meantime, this gold base is up, and Scarecrow can transfer probes here and get a nice economic lead. Obviously, the world has been denied from a Zerg player. Oh, the Zerg player just sees this. First time he's seen his base, he's just like, oh, you did not take that gold, did you? Oh my god, he's just like, wow. Seeing that as Zerg is depressing. I remember Pig getting quite angry when he saw that. He literally, like, yelled an obscenity or something like that. Anyway, another push forward here. Just does have 2 Colossus. This third is up for Pig, or fourth, however you want to look at it. The third was killed off. Are we going to see another counterattack down here? Obviously, it's very hard to attack into this gold base now. All Pros has to do is guard their army here. Here he comes, trying to pick off an extractor. He's going to see this Colossus, and he's going to back off correctly. There's just way too much of an army there for him to engage. Even if he does engage that, Colossus are going to do enough damage. Corruptors will kill those Colossus, don't get me wrong, but the ground army, once again, will be too small. And forcing him back. By the way, Overlord's still in the main here. That's actually quite funny. Anyway, fourth going up here from Pig. It is currently his 4th base. It is a very disjointed 4th. Not a very natural one to take. Possibly using it to hide. Obviously, hidden expansions and stuff do get you ahead in games if your opponent does not scout it. and this is definitely a hidden expansion because the natural fourth to take would be this one or the gold base over here. He does look like he wants to take this one. He has the probe there, or the drone, sorry, but I have to wait to see if he does do that. Let's check the supplies right now. See, he's really ahead. It's 161 to 123. In fact, Scarecrow quite a bit far behind as far as that goes. But you got to consider as well, with 4 Colossus out, that is a significant amount of Colossus, and they do a lot of damage. This Roach here was blocking this 4th base from Scarecrow, but he's killed off. So all of a sudden, Pig does not have any sight down there and does not know when Scarecrow does take that base. Here comes a Roach drop into the main here. Nice, cute little move here. 4 Roaches are fairly cheap. It's going to force his opponent's army out of position, or he's going to do quite a bit of damage here. Getting a few probes, that's always nice. And look at that, just denying that gold, the gas, sorry. Looks like Scarecrow's going to push forward here, though. There's a lot of croppers out here. In fact, are they going to engage right here? Yeah, they are. He's going to do a lot of damage. He's getting one down. He's going to get the second one. Wow, he's just doing so much damage to his croppers. Very corruptor heavy. But does he have enough ground army to deal with this? I have no idea. The Colossus do die. And it's now purely ground army versus ground army because these croppers are flying around doing absolutely nothing. And Pig is forced back. Yeah, it does not have a big enough ground army. Oh my god, Hydralisk reinforcing. This is a big move here because obviously Hydralisk destroys Stalkers. You need Colossus to counter him, and those corruptors do basically force Colossus to be killed. I don't know, there's really just way too many corruptors. Really a good time to transition to High Templar if he could, probably earlier if he could. And Pig actually getting a nice lead here, killing that army off. Resetting the Colossus count is a massive, massive deal. Colossus, when they hit that critical mass, plus a decent ground army behind him, does do a lot of damage. This base is up, and he has a few drones there. Is he going to scout it? No, he's going to move down to this base here and just ensure that he can take that. This army here is getting very, very fierce and probably wants to add a few more Roaches to buffer damage in there. But anyway, here comes another Roach drop. I believe that first one was killed off, possibly by a Colossus that came out. He's going to do it again. Obviously a good move, forcing your opponent to pull back. It's good stuff, researching drops so early. I mean, and not only that, but yeah, he did the good drop, but actually using that in the game. See if he can do some damage here. There is obviously this plus 2 weapons being researched. You could force a cancel on that. Probably won't have enough time though. 2 Stalkers are warped in, but there are 4 Roaches in there, and they can actually take out those 2 Stalkers, provided no micro. Well, the upgrades right now, it's 1-1 versus 2-1. So Protoss are ahead on upgrades, forcing his entire army back to deal with these 4 Roaches as well, which is quite a big deal. But Pig not taking advantage of that. Had a time there, we could probably move in and do some damage to this gold because the army was pulled back, but did not take advantage of that. That's okay. This base is now fully up and running. Pig, trying to build a pylon right there. Obviously hasn't scouted that. Scarecrow, that is, sorry. And he's going to move up here and be like, oh, you have that base. Oh my goodness. And you can actually click the minerals and see how long it's been here for. Probably will realize it's a fairly new base. And if he kills this, he can get a nice advantage. This probe is scouted, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm going to lose this base. Does build 2 Spine Crawlers, but there's a big army coming along here. Where are the Colossus? There they are. But we do have an attack into here. This is a great, sort of a cute little attack here. It's going to force the army back and save that base. Forcefuls go down. Don't really kill that much. Just kill a couple of Roaches with that. But he's going to move up into this base, and he's going to probably kill it off here. That's a big move, obviously. There are a lot of drones there. If you check the income tab, killing these drones will put Scarecrow ahead as far as income goes. But, well, it burrows them, actually. That's quite a cute move. We're going to have an attack in here that we have Broodlords out right now as well. This is a massive, massive deal. There is no blink, I believe, on these Stalkers. So, really, Scarecrow has no way to kill these Broodlords at all. He's basically going to have to just run up and kill them. He does a lot of damage. Broodlords do so much damage. Even if the Broodlings are killed, they do impact damage. And all he's got to do now is sit back with his Broodlords and wait for his opponent to come forward enough, and then he can engage. And this is just going to be decimation. Pig just coming in here with Broodlords. This is going to be so one-sided. The Corruptors are doing so much damage to his Colossus. Colossus are falling. Ground Army is still alive. And it looks like Pig will take this game. Once this gold falls, I cannot see Scarecrow staying in this game for much longer. Broodlords are still up, and there is just no army left for Scarecrow. Literally 1 Colossus and about 4 Stalkers. We're trying to warp in units. Still Hydralisk left. And there's the GG from Scarecrow. And Pig does win this 1-0 in the best of 3 series so far. So well played. And awesome, we'll move on to Game 2 next. So this was the City Hunter StarCraft 2 Flood Relief Tournament, Game 1 in the upper bracket finals.